right, we're back. Is that better? Please say it's better. Yay, nay, maybe. I'm waiting. I don't. I really hope it's better. I'm looking for the comments. Yes? Okay, good. Let's do this. Okay, so like I was saying, yesterday was crazy. I'll give you guys just a quick recap in case, any of that was jarbled. I don't know what it sound like on your sound like. Gosh, I'm making up words like Angelini. So anyways, I was, 4x4ing, got stuck, had to get some new tow straps, went to get tow straps, ran into two specific towing companies. Those are the only two companies. Reno is not small. It's not. It's just not a little town. You don't just run into vehicles left and right and different. I mean, it was weird. It was so weird. So that was interesting, especially because, I want to talk about that. I mean, when I say that the day before that, my interactions were like, odd too. They weren't as odd as this, but my interactions the day before produced a conversation that I had. Conversations are good things to have, and I'll be having some conversations tomorrow. If certain people are in their offices, I'm not quite sure if they are because tomorrow is a US holiday. If not, then I'll be having some conversations on Tuesday. But that's the thing, is you can't be scared to have conversations. What is the worst that can happen from a conversation? Somebody says they don't want to talk to you. Somebody doesn't answer your questions. There's absolutely nothing that could really go wrong with asking somebody to have a conversation. So that's what I do. I try to have conversations, and that's something that I myself had to get over. I was a little scared, not scared, but just like, I don't want to do that. When I went to the location of that photo that circulated of KIELY supposedly in this gas station, you don't really want to put yourself in a situation. I still to this day do not want to put myself in a situation where I'm like standing right next to somebody I really don't feel comfortable standing next to. So that, no, you're tripping. I'm not going to do it. But there are conversations that I will have. There's a picture that was sent to me from another channel. I decided to message that person, and we'll go over that at another time. I don't have it in here, so we will go over that. I messaged that person. There's conversations that you can at least attempt to have. So when I saw AAA the other day, when it was in front of me, and I was I was taking pictures of it because that's what I do when I can. I did not expect them to be going to the exact same place I was going. Things work out as they should. It's not, I have zero control over that. I thought I was just taking pictures of a AAA vehicle, and they ended up the same place I ended up. And so me, being me, waited in my vehicle and had a conversation. So we'll get into that, you guys. We'll get into that. But I want to show you some videos. I'm going to stop some of these. I don't have any music in them. I did get permission from this new, he's not too new. He's newer. He's kind of blowing up right now. I think he's awesome. I did get permission to play one of his songs. So in one of my later videos, another video, I'll play his song. He just said, make sure you give credit, and that's how it should. That's how it should go, you guys. It's always, give that credit back. So there is a video in here we're going to be going over, just a short little one, 2 parts of it that Kiki I had sent me, and so we're going to go over that. And there's some other videos that I watched one last night that Charlotte had found, and Squirrel on Fire had it on hers. That was an awesome video. Everybody, I recommend you listen to that video, and listen with some earphones, and whatever you have, listen with something where you can really hear the whispers, where you can really hear the things that that you don't necessarily always listen to right off the bat. Just like, remember fire cam videos, never, oh, well, what's that? Oh, wait, hold on. What's that? So you have to give it a little more, I guess maybe like a second time around to sometimes pick up things that you didn't necessarily pick before. Now, the video that I will be going over a little bit, I still have to get a better video of it, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know where my original for it is. So this is just something that I had luckily saved, so I can go over just what I wanted to show you on that part. but I do want to look further into this, and you'll see exactly why. So with that being said, let's get into some videos. Trying to think of where I want to start. Well, on this page would help. Okay, so that's not the right one, this one. Okay, so we went over this video a bit last time, and I was trying to figure out if there's a camera in front of, right there underneath there. This is a GPS tracker. I will say that is a verified GPS tracker. Their every movement is tracked. You heard me right. Their every movement is tracked by GPS. This is another truck I saw that same day. Like I said, they have been in my face. I cannot make them go away. My husband actually said that this is like an episode of The Simpsons at this point. Like I said, I cut off another tow company the other day. Hi, how are you? I know you watch my TikTok, so I'm sure you're watching this. I made sure to wave. But yeah, it right in my face, all over the place. So definitely has my attention. You guys have my attention. So this right here is the vehicle that I was going to where I was going. Don't, because I don't want people to be like, oh, you're following, because I've gotten comments on that silver Ford, and I was maybe maybe I was a smart aleck back, but they liked that. So hi, Matt. How are you? Here, this is that truck that I was going to pick up my Jeep. My Jeep was in the shop again. So I was going to pick up my Jeep. I went to pick it up. I was like, let me take a picture of this truck. It's right in front of me. Might as well. They're always in my face, and might as well start paying them some attention. So here we have a rear view mirror. Right below it appears to be another form of, I don't know, monitoring. So these vehicles are very much monitored. They are looked at. Let me get this quick pic. Go ahead. These vehicles are very much tracked and monitored, you guys. Very much tracked and monitored. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. There is the same truck. There is the GPS monitor on top. Here's that picture I wanted. Here is that picture I wanted. I believe it was Larry. Larry, that's what we're going with for social media tagging. Larry sent this to me. If you're in chat, you can please claim credit, because I would like to give credit where credit is due. That to me, I 100% see a car underneath the boat. But hey, it is what it is. There is the area that I just love talking about so much. Same area where the second memorial is very near to. There's a close-up of the GPS tracker. I wanted to make sure that was very known, very seen. It is on multiple vehicles. This one, I didn't even look for it. I was just basically pointing out the surveillance on this one. Pretty much all of these vehicles I've seen in the last 2 days. Literally all of those vehicles. I could probably, yeah, see, this is one of them. And that was the location of where Kiely was supposedly last seen. That is the supposed last location of Kiely. That was accounted for by anybody that came forward, that anybody that would talk. Okay. So let me go back to that, because it kind of went a little too fast for me, even though the video seems slow. This is where that GPS was showing. And this was Boca Rest Campground. So this is supposedly the location where she was last seen. Allegedly. That's it. Okay. Now, let's get into that video I was talking about. If anybody knows the videos by the back of their hand right now, the fire cam videos, what area is this on the map? Because we're going to get into that in just a second. So here's a better picture, or I guess it's a picture of whatever it is. And there's those lights. You guys remember how, I don't know if I showed it on here. I showed this one clip, I believe. I know it's on my TikTok. I know it's on my Instagram. I showed this one clip where I said, this is an awfully nice view of headlights facing the cameras. You guys remember that? And I showed this little rock formation, and that little rock formation looked like a bench. And I said I would talk about it when I was ready and what it meant. But I was trying to get into this footage, and then all kinds of stuff happens. And yeah, things get moved around. It happens. So in the lower circle right there, that's the canal. It's the canal going up towards where Kiely's vehicle was found. That area over there, the top circle, the one with the brighter lights, that's where that bench is. No, this isn't my vehicle. This isn't the night I was out. Oh, unless you're at the beginning. If you're at the beginning, then yes, that was definitely my vehicle stuck in the mud. So I definitely want to get this footage, because what happened was I've said, and I don't know, I don't watch everybody's videos. I can't even get back to all of my messages, comments, any of that. Like I just can't right now, time wise. I've always said to like go after the supposed party. Now here's the thing. Even if, and don't lose me here. Don't just be like, I'm done, I don't believe what she's saying because it's fire cam related. Don't lose me yet. Even if the dates were changed, manipulated, anything like that, this still shows a vehicle going into Prosser. This still shows the events that happen after said vehicle goes into Prosser and where the lights go the entire time. So I have said, even so, say that party, it wasn't that day, right? Say it wasn't that day. This was a different party because the headlights, there doesn't look like enough lights, whatever. This still shows a vehicle going into Prosser. Only one vehicle so far, right? I mean, it got low enough. I don't think anything else was found except for her belongings that weren't located by law enforcement for some unknown reason. There was no other vehicle in Prosser. So that video does show a vehicle going in. So these are the events with the same lights after. These lights go all the way around. And I'll show you that here shortly, because I drove that. And mind you, all of these people and nobody got her belongings. Nobody. Watch this video. These are those lights, you guys. I have to find this original. I have to find it. But remember when I said there was an area you could park where you could see directly all the way over there, and I got into it and it's whatever, water under the bridge. Do you guys see the people right there? I mean, do you see them visually? Because I see them visually. I see them. I mean, I don't know like how small it is for you guys, and I wish I could zoom in. but I cannot. So if you want to screenshot that. So this is that area where I said, you know, people were possibly parked because they could either be here on this area or they could be right here, because all these still lead to that road that bends up right here that goes around and then goes up to the sanctuary. But that's where the Y is right up here. So let's get into some other stuff, shall we? And hi, everybody that's just joining. I have been watching the videos, so I haven't really got to say hi to many people. But hi, thank you. I appreciate each of you for taking time out of your day to join me. Let's see. And then, do you guys remember that area that I kept saying that there's this one area that faces, you know, that the cameras would be able to pick up those lights just perfectly because they'd be facing the same direction as where those cars would have came from, met up real quick, and they met up real fast, but they had enough room to, you know, turn around, stuff like that. Yeah, let's talk about that. So this is the area right below the sanctuary. Kind of looks similar to the sanctuary too, doesn't it? Where you can see right here the lake. So this whole area, all these trees right through here are pretty open to the fire cam. This area is perfect to turn around. Here's that area on Google Earth. I told you guys I would get that for you. I got it for you. So this is the area on Google Earth. It is right here. It is not far at all from where you would have those two cars would completely meet up quickly after driving through here, speeding up. And remember, I said they didn't go very far. I'm like, did they go all the way back up to the sanctuary? I don't think they did, because the sanctuary is right through here. So I'm like, did they go all the way back up to the sanctuary? No, there's no way. It was too far. You know, it was just too far. So right here, where I just showed in that last video, it's very open, very open. So easy enough to turn around real quick, meet up with another vehicle real quick, and easy enough for one vehicle to go all this way back and all this way and through different areas. And then the other one go right back down here. I'm just going to say that, I mean, it makes sense to me. This is just allegedly. Okay? Allegedly. Oh, and allegedly, so this is the road that, you know, Kylie would have had to driven down to drive herself into Prosser. This is that area I was just showing over there where you can see straight away. So just so everybody has a visual, because like I said, when I started on this case, I was confused myself. So I hope that helps. Well, let's keep going. Perfect area to turn around. And like I said, I didn't know where the sanctuary was right off the bat. I had no clue where the sanctuary was. So I thought this was the sanctuary at first because I never gone to the sanctuary. So originally, this is where I thought the sanctuary was, and I just kept driving up and found the sanctuary. So this place has always stuck out to me. And then you just keep driving up back to the sanctuary. So here we have that area, you guys. This is the area. This is the canal. Here's the bench. Here's one of the, this is how I got there. Remember, people like to off-road. People like to take trails. People like to take the fun way around, not just a paved road when you live in, areas like this. I just got stuck in the mud yesterday. So this is normal. Oh, and by the way, I didn't include it in this video. Can't really see down by my feet, but this area is, and this is the way you come down. This takes you right through the campground. This takes you right through the campground at Prosser. But that area back there, that had a bunch of bonfire stuff, a bunch of beer bottles, beer cans, all that stuff for a party. The other place did as well. The place where the bench is, we'll get to that one in a second. This is the old, I believe this is old 89, I believe. If RT's in here or anybody from Truckie's in here can verify that. I believe this is the old 89. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a little road that goes out across near this way, I mean, just, there's some pictures of law enforcement walking down it also. I've posted those before. So let's watch this video. I'm gonna read comments while you guys watch a bunch of dots. And yes, I know it's dark. It's the best way to be able to see these lights and where exactly they go. And I wanted to play the video after so that you guys knew which areas I'm specifically speaking of. And I'll have little things on there. I'm going to go through the comments while you guys are watching this. I've been saying that since day one. I think criminal activities happen at Prosser, Boca, Reno. Yep, there's 3 different areas that that a lot's been said about. Oh, and I don't know, Scrolls on Fire, if you saw my comment last night, that vehicle is 100% a 2000 Nissan Xterra. So I don't know how she said that was a confirmed minivan, because that is an unconfirmed minivan. That is 100% not a minivan. Don't know what she's talking about. And from what I believe, I'll have to listen to it again, I don't even believe it was stated if it was a male or female that called in that call. So I don't know how she can get so angry at all these people for asking questions when she's giving false information. Like, isn't she the one saying it was fake news? Sorry, guys. I didn't want to delete any of this or like fast forward any of this because I wanted you guys to see that. And there's a reason why I keep asking for the cameras to get moved back. I just want them, if they could just move the cameras back for just, a day or two. I'd appreciate, maybe not in the middle of a snowstorm, but, soon here, I would appreciate that. Because I would really like to take a little road trip so I can get some lights at night. Or if anybody is, in another country that watches the cameras at all and sees the cameras move at night, that would be awesome to find out, because I really want to see where my lights go on this. I'll come move them in June. I know, gosh, those cameras need to move. They really do. RT, it is old 89. Okay, good. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't giving false information out. So that road that I showed, that is the old 89. So as you can see, these lights aren't really doing much. Remember, this is where we just sat here and we're like, nothing's really happening and all that stuff. And then when it does, it does. It might have already happened. I might have missed it by reading the comments. Sorry. But like I said, if Tennessee Yankee is in here, I'm reaching out to you for sure, because I need this footage after, and I cannot find my originals on this. Hey Michael, how are you? Hi Kenny, how are you? Hi Lala. Hi Morning Aura. Is the history button back up? I haven't checked, honestly. I haven't looked. Hi Loving Lake Time, how are you? Have the Truckee Way. Okay, yeah, see, so there are more. Yeah, so it's definitely 89. Someone left Boca and went to Boca Rest Campground. Trying to read. Hi, James. Lake Time Casey did a discussion for members about those videos you mentioned, which was helpful to me to hear observations. Yeah, I know. And I have one I'm going to play that Kiki sent me. I don't know if anybody else has shared it or anything, but I'm going to play it after this because this part is very important, you guys. I've always focused on this area. And you have to think, even if it's manipulated, even if it's the wrong day or whatever is done, whatever way we want to go with that, it still shows a vehicle going into processor. So please keep that in mind. It still shows a vehicle going into processor. I mean, right now it just looks like a bunch of dots. I promise it's not. I don't know how much longer we have this, but you'll see why. I mean, those vehicle, I mean, maybe that first video was enough, but you see the vehicle drive all the way around the lake. And we might have already seen that in comments, so I apologize. But either way, it's still showing. And then this light over here, it keeps going on and off, on and off. Sorry, I had to keep my focus back on this because here we go. Finally getting to it. Oh, look, I guess I decided to put things in this part. Golly. It's been a long 2 days, you guys. It's been a long 2 days. What did Daisy say? Want a headlamp? Oh my gosh. I cannot. We should just send Angelini out here to move it. I'm sure she likes climbing on objects. I want the Alder Hill one moved because the Alder Hill one that's the one I want. And remember, I was trying to figure out if that vehicle had a light bar. I'm pretty sure it has a light bar. Because there's certain things that I've watched in different fire cam footage where it really does seem like it's a light bar instead of multiple vehicles. And then now is where I have to find the rest of it to get the light in the canal. That's right. The light in the canal. That's I can't even like unsee it. Once you see it, it's just there. And it happens after this. And I had all those files, so I have to find them again. I just have to figure out where they are. I know I have them. I just have to find them. So I want to pull up that video that I was saying I was going to share, that Kiki break a heel or nail for that. No, definitely not. So I want to, we have it in Discord. Oh, awesome. Yeah. 2 days. I think it's been a big blur for years. Yeah, it is. It's been, yeah, golly. So I want to play this video that Kiki had sent because it starts off with a moment of silence. And then it goes to, and then it goes into their meeting. But I want to share that with you, and then what the Truckee police chief had to say, and what he said in this video. I'll get the date for you after. Oh, August 9th. This video is from August 9th. So Kylie had been missing for 3 days at that point. So I'm going to mute myself and get this. Oh, you did this one today? Well, now we're going to watch it again. See, I didn't even know. Okay, hold on. Mute.
Before we move on, I just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that our community is hurting right now and understandably very rattled with the disappearance of Kiely Rodni. There's been tremendous and tireless effort from our community members and local, state, and federal law enforcement officials to help find Kiely and bring her home. So before we continued with the meeting tonight, I did just want to take a moment for us all to have a brief moment of silent reflection in this very challenging time, and also offer our support to Kiely's family and friends. Thank you.
I feel like she had like a timer on, like this, how long do I have to do this for? Like, it just frustrates me. It just seems like nobody cared. Nobody at all cared. All right, let's get into this part.
As the Vice Mayor started off the meeting, we have a missing person, and I'm going to defer to our police chief for an update on status report on that.
Thank you, Jen. Good evening, Vice Mayor Romack, Council. Quick update on the Kiely Rodni investigation. Placer County and Nevada County are in unified command on this operation. Placer County Sheriff's Office is the primary investigative authority on the missing person aspect, and Nevada County Sheriff's Office is actually doing the ground search. There are numerous agencies supporting this operation: CHP, Truckee PD, FBI, Homeland Security, Regional Threat Assessment Centers, which is our intelligence agencies, as well as the Washoe County Sheriff's Office, and additional agencies continue to join the investigative efforts. Today, there is over 150 sworn law enforcement personnel working this investigation, as well as 100 professional staff.
Can anybody tell me where those people were? I mean, I have some pictures of search and rescue, but where were these people in any of the pictures after? No, just absolute no.
To assist in the investigation, the overall search for Kiely Rodni. 3 air assets are here from Placer County, CHP, and Washoe County. Marine units from regional law enforcement agencies as well. These searches have been very extensive, and at this point, we have not looked.
Can anybody tell me what Marine really did anything other here? Marine forces, Marine whatever you just said. I wasn't even really listening. I tuned him out a long time ago. What Marine was Marine? Okay, I'll play it back because it just annoys me because they didn't find Kiely. They were over Kiely. They were literally over Kiely. There were people. No.
Assets are here from Placer County, CHP, and Washoe County. Marine units from regional law enforcement agencies as well.
Speaking of those agencies, that now that I've played it back, why won't the Hasty team get back to me? If you're watching these videos for any kind of tips, you know, there's a bunch of channels that are actually giving some, you know, good information on this. If you're watching this for any purposes like that, can you ask the Hasty team why they won't get back to my email? I would really like to speak with them, the Washoe County Hasty team. Thank you.
These searches have been very extensive, and at this point, we have
not extensive enough. I can finish that sentence for you. They have not been extensive enough. Okay, continue.
Not located the car, nor have we located Kiely. Approximately 200 tips are currently being investigated as we speak by detectives. Also, Nevada County BA.
So hold on. 3 days in, you have 200 tips, and you have nothing. Not one thing. The time that people are going to talk the most. I will guarantee, put a 1 in here if any of you guys watch 48 hours or for the first 48. Because Anybody that knows anything about any kind of crime, any kind of anything, the first 48 hours is the most important time. The first 48 hours is also the time when the people talk the most. That's when people want to talk. That's when people actually give you real tips. The tips that you probably just ignored. Because that's when people were talking. And instead of actually having an adult have conversations, you're having a child have conversations to what? Console children? These children are traumatized by the events that happen, knowing that if any of them go missing, it's going to take you weeks to find her, find her, find him, find anybody, and you're not even going to find them. Ever. If adventures with a purpose, whatever you guys feel, that's your opinion. Remember, we are always good to agree to disagree on my channel. Please do so. But if they didn't come out, Kylie would not be located until that lake was drained. And that's what I feel like the intent here was, is that that lake was, that gave more time. I don't know. I'm not going to, that's allegedly, that's in my head. That's my opinion. But that's how I feel, because you didn't try. She was right there. Right there. Like, I regret not going there and like diving in the water right where supposedly she was last seen. Like, come on, like you're saying that that's where? No, I guarantee there would nope, because I would have done that. But you guys didn't want to make the water murky. Make the water murky. Find that child. Why wouldn't you?
At the for the family and the friends who are involved in this. I urge the community to please come.
Okay, did they delete it, you guys, or can somebody find out about that? Because that's concerning. One, because they are awesome, they are amazing, they have great playing this again.
Forward and provide any information to assist in this investigation. For the party goers or any other witnesses that were out Friday night, please come forward. If you think you have a piece of information that will help, then that should answer the question to please come forward. Law enforcement is not looking to get any of these kids in trouble. Our ultimate goal is to find Kylie. Also, you can submit tips anonymously.
I'm seeing comments that you guys can't hear me. Can you guys hear me? Deleted. What? Okay. If anybody hears that, that's very concerning. If anybody hears anything, can you please leave it in the comments, please? I'm going to get back into this, and I'm going to rewind it just a tiny bit because that, wow, that really sucks. so many articles out there, and I had a couple I was going to post up for this live, but I didn't get them sent in time to myself, so oops. But that's one of the biggest things that is ever mentioned, is you will not get in trouble. We will not tell your parent. Like, it's always been, we will not tell your parents. You will not know. I mean, it's the strangest thing, like, that they know. But in the articles, it straight says these people do not want to come forward because they're worried, or they're in fear, or they're whatever. And so I'll pull up that article on my next live, because I do want to go over that, because yet again, we have, 3 days into it, when you're getting the best tips, you're getting the best information. And instead of, having an adult, I don't know, maybe an officer having these meetings with teens, they're still saying, we're not going to get you in trouble, but come talk to these teen talks. That it just doesn't, that doesn't work. I don't know why you thought that you would get tips from teens that are talking to another teen who is not a law enforcement official. They can't, you're literally telling them they can get away with this. That's what you're doing. You're telling them this is okay. No matter what happened, it's okay. So right off the bat, 3 days in, they think it's okay just by one meeting. How many interviews were before this? They've always thought it's okay, not, they won't get any trouble, but they're not going to talk, because guess what? They think it's okay. You're telling them everything's okay with this, and it's not. Absolutely not.
Also, you can submit tips anonymously by calling the Placer County tip line at 530-581-6320, option 7. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Chief, for that update. And just to reiterate what I believe Vice Mayor started out the meeting with, that we, the whole community is in pain and obviously very concerned, and we are in full support of trying to bring KIELY home.
In full support. Yeah, full support. So I can't, you guys. Are you guys there? Are you still there? Because I have no idea what just happened. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for waiting for me to come back. That was quite interesting. So I believe it was your live last night, Scrolls on Fire, that I said I don't want to make anybody paranoid, but everybody should back up their stuff. So yeah, that was weird. Yeah, no, I got kicked off. I was kicked off. I was gone. It told me I had absolutely no internet, and it wouldn't let me back on, and I had the internet. So let's go back to this bench. I just want to give you guys that nice visual of that bench again. Nice little area. Was it this video? Yeah, it was this video. So actually, this is a better video area right here. Eventually we'll get there. I didn't want to fast forward it anymore because I keep missing that pause button. So this is the area. Let me give you guys just a little mouse tour of how I got to this area. So I got to this area because I wanted to start from the point of where, you know, that vehicle was pulled from Prosser. So I was way back here. You can't even see it because this is the boat ramp. This right here, this ramp. Oh, gosh, I wish I could zoom in. Let's see if this little guy will let me. No. Okay, so this area, and I have tons more footage from this area. Of course I do. This is the boat ramp for Prosser. So this is across from the boat ramp. I walked out a little ways. The bench is up this way. This is that inlet, you know, that little area that I said pay attention to. And back there is where Kiely's vehicle, or what that vehicle was located. And then all the way through here, back through here, boom. And then I got there from those roads. So I tried to get that as best I could. I have more video footage of that. I'm pretty sure I even have dash cam footage of that drive. I will have to go back through all my dash cam and double check, but I'm pretty sure I have some on that. I hope I do. But yeah, those lights that split go apart. Well, one of them goes this way. So that is that's what I got. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about where's the other video? Let's talk about this company. Yeah, that one. Not that one. That one. Let's talk about that one. So the other day I had to go pick up my Jeep and I decided to wait for that guy. So when I decided to wait for that guy, I decided, you know, I don't even know if he's going to talk. What do you say at that moment? You don't expect to just be like, I'm going to talk to somebody that supposedly is looking for me. So I started it off that way. I started it off by asking if he knew who I was. He did not know who I was. I said, okay, well, that's good. So we start talking, kind of just, it was really, really awkward. I showed him both my phones and said, hey, I'm not recording you. I just have a couple questions. I'm sure you know what this is about. He did not know what it was about. So, why does that truck? I'm glad somebody can appreciate it. I don't even want to talk about tow trucks. I cannot see another tow truck forever. I have no idea. These things are in my face right now. So much in my face. It's disturbing. So anyways, he had no idea what I was talking about, and I straight up said, I'm talking about Nick. And he looked at me like, okay. So I told him, you know, I understand that, you know, he stated that he saw Kiely, you know, that he had gotten a call out there. I told him what I knew about it, you know, that was him. She swears up and down that it's Kiely. I said, I am not trying to put you in any spot because, you know, this is your job, whatever. I don't know this guy. You don't want to put somebody in a situation, just like people don't understand that these situations that can be caused affect others, like myself, for instance. Say I did need to call AAA one day, that wouldn't necessarily be a call I would want to make. You know, I mean, it's you have to understand what I live here, you guys. I live here. So just like I told him, I understand everybody has families. I understand everybody, I live here, you live here. I get it. And he did say, oh, he said he did obviously know about the case once I started talking about it. He didn't really seem to know about it just off of, what I had said, like, oh, do you know who I am in a white Jeep, like, anyways. So he did state that he had watched a video, and some guy that was on, he said he'd watched a video about somebody that hadn't even worked there for 6 years. He said, yeah, I watched it and I was just like, well, this person hasn't even worked there. I was like, oh yeah, with the Auto Guardian. So I brought up Auto Guardian, and he said, yeah, this truck might even have Auto Guardian stickers still on it. That business hasn't been in business for a very long time now. He said, so that video was comical to me because it's not true. So when I say vet anything that you get, vet anything that you get. You don't even have to take my word for it. Vet it yourself, because I personally get tips, get all kinds of emails day in and day out, and I know many people do, but I can't just get something and be like, oh, that's true, I'm running with it, and put it out there for you guys, because that's I don't want to put out information that I'm gonna have to retract, and that's gonna send people on a wild goose chase when it's already so much time invested in all of this. You know what I mean? So I just want to, I want to make sure that everybody, realizes that you have to vet your own information. So anyways, so he was saying, that guy hadn't even worked there for 6 years. He was not comfortable talking to me. I will tell you that, because he didn't want to affect anything or, get in the middle of anything or whatever, his own reasonings. With that being said, he did state that he knows that his bosses sat down with law enforcement and went over every single thing that they had. Hear me again. His bosses went over everything that they had with law enforcement. So they for sure looked at any footage that was there. They for sure looked at anything that was like associated with AAA and KIELY and that phone call or however, whatever that was, boyfriend's phone, guy's phone. You guys know I went over that in my last video, still confused on that. Get back to that another. That is what he had told me. What, 6 years? So he had said he'd watched a video. I don't know whose video it was, but Living Lake Time, he said he had watched a video about some guy that he said, yeah, it was like saying something about a guy that worked here, but that guy hasn't worked here in 6 years. So somebody's name that's circulating with AAA has not worked there in 6 years. So I'm just so lost. He confirmed it, that they did get that they went over all of this footage or whatever they had. I don't know what they had, but he talked. And I mean, it never, that's what I mean, you guys, it never, ever, ever hurts to ask a question, because what's the worst that somebody could say is no. But if they don't feel like you're interviewing them or attacking them or anything like that, they're probably going to talk. Because how many people do you think somebody gets to talk to about something like that that's happening at your workplace? Like, oh yeah, one of our old drivers, possibly saw this girl and she was supposedly, that's crazy. That is crazy stuff right there. So I'm sure that he in some way wanted to talk about it, because how the conversation started about, I don't want to talk, I don't really have too much to say. And that's when I kind of froze up, because like, what do you say at that point? How do you get somebody to keep talking to you? So I mean, it wasn't fun. I didn't want to pressure somebody to do something they're not comfortable with. I didn't want to put somebody in a situation. I never want to put somebody in a situation, but questions need to be asked. And if I have an opportunity to ask those questions, you can bet your butt I'm going to freaking ask those questions, because why not? Why wouldn't I? And like I said, is that I don't know that Nick lied. I've said many times that it could be a case of mistaken identity. It absolutely could be a case of mistaken identity. You got to think, it's been a week since, a week, it was probably longer. I don't even know. I don't know the timeline for a day, like the exact day. So it could be, I don't know. It could be mistaken identity. We don't have proof that he actually saw Kiely. That's his word. Just like, there's so many, it's a hard one, you guys. I don't know somebody's memory, and we don't know, I don't know how to feel in that, but I wanted to share that with you guys, because these vehicles 100% have cameras on them. They 100% have GPS tracking on them. They're monitored. There was a number that he called. I mean, I wish that we could just find that number or something, but I am going to be calling and I'm going to be making calls. Like I said at the beginning of this live, I will be making some calls tomorrow, depending on if people are in their offices because it's a holiday. If not, I will be making some calls on Wednesday also, or Tuesday also. So I have things that I'm going to be doing, you guys. I have things I'm going to try to verify stuff if I can. I don't know if people will talk, I'm obviously calling law enforcement. I don't know if they'll talk. I don't know if I'll get answers, but I dang sure have a list that I'm going to attempt to, and I'm going to go about it. And I don't know. I hope they will. I mean, what's the worst that they can say? No, but that's the thing, is that I will take a no over a I didn't try. I will take a no all day over a I didn't try, because I'd rather get turned down than, than not try. And that's the thing, is like, I don't know if it was Kiely. I don't know if it wasn't Kiely. It's really impossible to prove right now without that footage. So I'm definitely still going to ask some questions. There are many, and that didn't help me at all, like that literally did not help me at all by hearing that, yeah, they've gone through all the footage, because that means that they're actually, AAA had something there. It's obvious they have cameras, you guys. Now, those little vans, I can't get close enough to that windshield to see if that's a camera, but it appears like it is, because it looks like the same setup that's in that truck that I showed the picture of earlier. It looks the same, so it could obviously have a camera. I wouldn't surprise me, because like I said, when I talked to another person when I was at AAA, he said that there's even, microphones inside the vehicles for their safety. So there are many safety features on these vehicles to protect their drivers and their passengers, I'm assuming, because you have to think, you're taking someone to their home, to the car shop, to wherever. So they have to make sure anything doesn't get, messed up or anything like that. Or, somebody is like drunk and gets angry and aggressive in the cab, like that. There's things they have to do to make sure they cover themselves. So it's kind of, I mean, that's the hard part, is I feel like I confuse myself more by some of the answers I get. But you know what? If we don't have it all on the table, then we don't know. And so they definitely have gone through footage or whatever they have, probably GPS coordinates, all that kind of stuff. So that is very much something I want to know about. I want to ask that question, is why wasn't this footage ever debunked or confirmed? That is one of my questions. That is a question that I am going to be asking, because I want to know why was this not talked about? This should have been talked about as soon as it came to light, and it never, ever, ever came to light. They just ignored it, just like they ignored, and that's where I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around, is that And has anybody confirmed if their channels are like gone or what happened there? Did anybody hear from them? Yeah, exactly. That's where I was going into Living Lake Time, is that even if the FBI and the CHP reports come back that vehicle did not, there's no way she could have drove herself in or whatever, who knows? How would that not change her cause of death? How would that not change it? They're gone. Oh my gosh. Hopefully they'll respond to an email and say if they removed them. Okay, so they removed their KIELY videos. Okay, definitely want to find out what happened with that. Yeah, definitely let me know. And you guys don't even have to let me know on here if they don't want. I don't know. That's awful. So anyways, yeah, I just don't understand how, if the FBI and the CHP report comes back that she didn't drive in, say, okay, how does that not change her cause of death? Why would that not change her cause of death? That should change everything about her cause of death, correct? Like, I don't understand. That should change everything. Why wouldn't that change? Oh gosh. I'm reading your guys' comments. Wow. That's awful. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, you guys. I definitely am gonna see about getting and somebody said they had that footage. I want to see that footage after, because I don't know where mine is, and that's really baffling me. But I'll keep looking for it in the meantime. But I am working on some other ones. Yes, it should. Drowning was preliminary. Yes, see, exactly. It Oh gosh, I was saying goodbye to you guys and you guys couldn't hear me, huh? Yeah, I was like, I feel like I'm frozen. So yeah, I am I'm gonna get off of here, you guys. YouTube is doing some weird stuff tonight. I have no idea what's going on with it. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the mods. I appreciate you so much. I'm sure it's pain. And I hope all of you have a wonderful night.